You are listening to episode 24 of the Underhook Show. As always, my name is Steve, alongside my co-host Chris. Chris, we have moved on from the Jordan episode. We are now on to the Javante Green episode. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm good. Chilling. Good episode of Dynamite tonight. Forbidden Door was Forbidden Door.
Yeah. We're gonna spend the majority of this episode unpacking it. So
yeah, but it was good, man. Had a good week. Ready to talk some wrestling, man.
Mm-hmm. As we discussed before we hit record, you were watching some stuff over the weekend. Me, not so much. So what do you got for me?
Tuned into GCW Homecoming. So I started it today, but seeing Killer Cross and Scarlett came back to GCW. My boy Nick Gage came back to GCW. And I don't know if you know who he is, but AJ Gray came back to GCW. And that's probably like my hypest one of them all.
Familiar with him. I do have one question because a couple times a week, because I'm still forward thinking to like end of year stuff. And I fill out my watch list as things happen, even though I'm not actively watching everything going on. I did see on night one of this Homecoming, they ran Slade versus Masashi Takeda. Did you watch that?
I'm not there yet. I left off on it's a 6-person tag match of Joey Janela, Megan Bayne, and Masha Slamovich versus Atticus Kogar, Otis Kogar, and there was another guy. I can't remember his name. Sorry, but
okay.
I did see that match on the card. That's why I'm kind of like, I wonder if that's night 2 or was that night 1?
I believe it was night 1.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I know I believe it was on the Homecoming though.
Yeah, because I know they had 2 nights, and like night 2 had like a match had Tremont versus Bear Bronson that I'm definitely trying to look at. You know.
Yeah. I'm gonna check that out too eventually. I just saw like Slade versus Masashi Takeda in like a 10-minute death match. Like, yes, I'm going to watch this eventually.
They had Dr. Redacted versus Ultra Mantis Black, and that match fucked too. That was crazy. But yeah, like GCW lately has been kind of like hit and miss. Honestly, like I'm gonna be just 100% transparent. Like it's been very hit and miss for me, but this one right here brought it back to like I feel like what they should be just doing all along. Their roots, like go back to just being themselves. But I get it. They're partnered up with WWE somehow, so
they've always been a promotion for me to where I'm like, I know the whole show's not going to be for me, but every now and then there's going to be something on the card where I'm going to parachute in for. So I'm going to take your recommendations, and eventually we'll get to that Masada Slade match, because that just sounds right up my alley.
I think that's why I like GC. Well, I'm not saying I used to like GC. I used to watch GCW a lot. And I think that's why I liked it, because yeah, they're known for their death match and all that, but when they didn't have death match, they had actually good mat wrestling too. So like a lot of the people that we see on AEW started in GCW. So not a lot, but some.
Yeah, I mean they've brought in damn near everybody at this point.
Yeah, like Leon Slater, he's a mainstay in GCW, but he's shining on TNA, and it's cool to see that, you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. But I really only watched Forbidden Door. I wanted to get to Collision, and like I was telling you before we recorded, I got some family stuff going on right now, so I did not get to watch Collision, and I did not get to watch Deadlock Pro Wrestling's Beast Coast. We said we may review it this week. That's going to be next week. We both didn't get to see all of it, so we want to give you, the listener, the most attentive product that we can. Not a product, it's just two dudes chatting shit, but you know what I mean. Like we want to pay attention to the show and give you our insight the best we can. So DPW is going to be next week. This week's going to be going forward. Basically, it's going to just be Forbidden Door and the Fallout episode of Dynamite,
which works out because it's a lot.
Yes. Did you catch any of Collision?
No. I don't believe I did. I don't remember if I did. I what they doing? No, Saturday I was at a tournament, so
Yeah, that's right.
I did.
In Crown Point.
Yeah, in Crown.
Yeah.
I will be. I'll be back. I'm doing it.
Yeah, and I'll be there. I'll be there too. Hopefully, like I said, I've had some shit going on, but we're all good. If we weren't, I wouldn't be doing the show. So
We're talking wrestling. It's two dudes talking wrestling.
two dudes talking wrestling, as we always do. Collision card. There's some really cool stuff on paper. I heard the Takeshi Ishii rematch was good. They ran Grizzled Young Veterans versus Gates of Agony, which feels like it's booked for me specifically.
Sign me up.
Yeah, that's like my shit. And
the
then
Underhook match of the night.
Yeah, the Underhook man. Yeah, we'll start giving that out. Got a new bit. Other than that, I guess we could just get into Forbidden Door straight away.
Also, fuck Jake Hager. Sorry, I just seen it as clip article over here.
That was weird. Yeah, that was weird because I read into that, and the fact that FTR like publicly put him on blast says a lot. Because I know FTR in the media is a contentious thing for people.
Yeah.
I just don't think anybody who leaves AEW can like talk about it with a rational train of thought.
They can't just leave and go. Well, Punk did, right?
Yeah, of all people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like the guy that everyone
depending on your thoughts, on your thoughts on the Ariel Helwani interview, but
yeah, but that's but like I don't know. People should just be like chill, be grateful, be happy, move on. And I'm sorry, I'm not dying to see a Jake Hager match.
No, me neither. It was very strange.
I just remember the clip he said. The clip had me laugh. He was like, I was in Stadium Stampede, bro. Yeah, so we're like 8 other dudes.
you know the real litmus test is going to be if Jericho actually leaves.
Oh yeah.
And just see if he can be normal about it.
Yeah.
But that remains to be seen. We're a few months out from that. Sunday the 24th, though, at the O2 in London, we did have Forbidden Door London, which branded as New Japan and AEW, supposed to be CMLL and Stardom mixed in there, and I mean there was one Stardom wrestler on it, and it really depends on what you consider Hechicero at this point, because he is technically signed to both. We said it in the preview, this looks like a good AEW show, but not necessarily a good Forbidden Door show. Whether that was the case, you'll find out. Chris, did you catch anything from the pre-show?
Yeah, I did. I turned it on right as Crew were coming out. I think that was the first match of the night on the pre-show.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
I honestly don't remember much of it, to be fair, because I was, with the family and stuff, getting everything ready. But I remember turning it on, seeing El Desperado and our boy Yuya.
Yeah.
So, but it was a decent match. But I don't really pay attention much to 0 Hour, to be fair, because this is mostly like quick. It's a lot of multi-man matches, so.
This pre-show in particular was all multi-man matches.
Yeah, and then I remember seeing the women's tag was a little weird to me because you had Chris and Willow on the same team. But where
they just still, we'll talk about it tonight or later,
especially. But
like I feel like they still don't know what the fuck they're doing with these two. And this is the easiest thing to book, and they've already done it well. Like what? Like come on.
And then you had Samoa Joe on the pre-show too, which is crazy. But whatever.
Yeah.
And you had my guy Drilla Maloney. It's the greatest name ever.
Yeah.
But
hit the Driller right.
Yeah, it was a 0 hour. Nothing to write home about, to be fair.
Yeah, I meant to get to this sooner. My plan was to watch 0 Hour and Collision today, and I just couldn't.
There was a bid on 0 Hour, I think, with the Young Bucks trying to get a bunch of weapons for the for Anarchy or the cage match. I mean,
which would make sense as to the reveal and the
If you
Okay.
didn't, yeah. So that's why I was like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
but
That makes sense. I made a conscious decision on Sunday to not watch this because I felt a little bit burned from All In, and because they're doing this like an hour and a half or 2 hours, but it was an hour and a half. So for context, we are in Central Time in the United States. Because the show was in London, it went on at noon. So the pre-show started at 10:30 in the morning. That isn't necessarily the issue. The issue was that with something like All In, where a show in the United States started at 2 p.m., they did a 2-hour pre-show and then a 6-hour main show. And just for the sake of my sanity and respect of my own time, I don't know if I can sit through 8 hours of wrestling again. But then when you actually do the math, they're very much starting the show in the PM in England. So this show went a little long, but not too long. I definitely could have watched this, and I didn't. But the thing is, with these 0 hours, they're just on YouTube for free, so it's not the end of the
yeah,
world.
it's not like it's a hit. Oh my god, I missed it kind of thing. Still there.
Yeah, because a lot of this stuff, like I do want to seek out, like the team of El Desperado, Roddy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Yuya, like that's fucking awesome. And I
Yeah.
feel like Don Callis' family and crew is a good enough lineup of heels to serve them well. So I do want to go back and watch this. I'm glad Yuya got the pin with the deadbolt suplex. It's a fucking awesome finisher. It is a throwback of a finisher. I think the world of Yuya. He should be the ace of New Japan already, and he's not. And that has to
He's
do
the
more
son,
yeah,
or
like
son
like
of
he
professional wrestling.
yeah, like he needs to be. Storm needs to be the guy.
I learned about him during this. So
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, yeah, I remember you talking about him, and I remember seeing him in New Japan.
Yeah, he
Is he built up to be like the next ace? Are they building him to do that? Or
yes and no, because he has Tanahashi's seal of approval. He's gone 50-50 with Tanahashi, and he does a frog, like he does like a similar high fly flow. It's more of a frog splash, but he's starting to kind of turn it into that just a high fly flow. But this is more of a problem widespread of just this new generation isn't booked enough for someone to take that mantle. But Yuya's if you just watch him wrestle, it's just so bare bones in a good way, and just like him and Oiwa had that match in the G1 based around headlocks, and it worked.
oh, that's where I've seen him before. Okay,
And knowing Tanahashi, this is somebody that he wants to succeed. But even though Tanahashi's the president, Tanahashi doesn't have the book, and there's always going to be complications there. But Yuya has a very bright future, no matter where he wrestles. He clearly gets it. He's already fantastic.
his like
And,
presentation here was even like, you know what I'm saying?
It felt like the
So,
point of the match was to make him look good,
Yeah.
and credit to AEW for doing that. Yeah,
that's why I was like, I need to go back because I remember you telling me about the match with the headlock. I think that's one of the ones that you recommended to me.
yeah.
And, like-
Yuya had two years in a row. Yuya's had really good G1s, I would say. Yeah,
Yeah, so like I said, that's just my ignorance of myself not knowing much New Japan, but I liked his he's the son of SUN.
hmm
I said, okay, that's awesome. I like that.
That's clever because his tagline in New Japan is just Heat Storm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So,
what's awesome.
but otherwise, looking at this pre-show card, like Ricochet and Gates of Agony, hell yeah! Like I'm all about Gates of Agony. I'm wax poetic about Ricochet. I like Jet Speed. Michael Oku, I need to warm up on a little bit, but I think I want to see him in an environment outside of Rev Pro because I just think Rev Pro's main event scene is just not not.
Yeah, the only match. Well, I mean, I know of Michael Oku, but obviously the only match that I know was him and Ospreay. Anytime him and Ospreay wrestled,
Yeah.
and but I've heard a rumor he was supposed to get signed, but I guess no.
I feel like that's been the case for a while now because I feel like since All In
Last year, right?
last year, yeah, he's been around. The bump he took in this match I've seen, and that was
Ugh.
just psycho.
The pounce. Yeah. Oh man, shout out Money Brown.
Yeah, that was just a fucked up bump to take. So credit to him.
I'm glad he walked away from that one because God, mm,
Yeah, and then just going through the rest of these two women's tag. I don't have a problem with anybody in these matches.
I
I
just
like the bit.
the only thing
But
I had an issue with was there was no clarification as to why Willow and Chris Statler were on the same team, unless I missed something on Collision, maybe. But
maybe, yeah, they need to do some cleaning up there. I love the bit though. A friend pointed out to me because I didn't watch this that canonically, or at least like, or I should say in kayfabe, Aminata and Tekla brawled from the end of this match into the middle of the show. So they're basically brawling for like an hour and a half.
well, that's what someone on commentary said. Like, how long? I think it was Danielson. Was like, how long have they been fighting for?
Hey, I know you didn't like him on commentary on last week's Dynamite.
Hey, I love this.
I thought he was.
This.
I thought he was really good on this show in general.
I don't know what it was on that Dynamite. I don't know why. It's just he just seemed
His first one in a
yeah.
long,
But this
it might have been his first time doing a whole show. If I'm not, I mean, maybe in WWE he did it,
but this was awesome. I like the Danielson here because he added some like everything to the match. Like during that Nigel and Sabre match, he was adding a lot of stuff to it.
He was really good all night, and we'll talk about with Lights Out how he abstained. I really thought he would get involved. Again, we'll get to that. And then
he took the place of Taz on this,
essentially. But it felt right for Taz to come back at the ECW Arena, which we'll get to as well.
And someone else.
Yep. Bullet Club War Dogs and the Ops. It just seemed like the way to get all these guys on there and get the payday. Joe should be on these shows though. I believe if anybody.
I'm just surprised that the Bullet Club is literally still around.
But to me, in my opinion, their best guy is David Finlay. He was nowhere to be found.
Why wasn't he on this show?
I have no idea. But if you don't mind, before we get into the main card, if we could just take a quick break.
Of course, bro.
So with 0 Hour done and dusted, we had AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door 2025 from the O2 Arena in London, England. I normally don't talk about attendance numbers, but I do think we do need to talk about this crowd because it was packed and it was loud damn near the entire night, and I think it made the watch a whole lot more enjoyable.
Oh, absolutely. I love every time they go overseas or, to a different country. Because the crowd's always for any wrestling company for that matter. When they went to Mexico, it was awesome. Here is no different. Crowd was hyped all night. And the venue was, like you said, it was packed. It was packed. They said like 18,000 or something like that.
Yeah, and honestly, like, the setup was different. I mean, especially if you're familiar with the building as much as I am, but like, it reminded me of the United Center, honestly.
Yeah, okay, thank you, because I couldn't pinpoint. I was like, this looks like familiar territory, because I remember you saying that Money in the Bank was there, but it didn't look like this when Money in the Bank was there.
Yeah, this reminded me of the United Center, except the United Center has a lot more seats going, like more floor seats. It just reminded me of that kind of feeling. I like the minimal setup, too. I think that they just said, get as many people as you can and make it as loud as you possibly can. And this crowd, for what it's worth, something we don't get with a lot of AEW shows, stuck with, I would say like 80% of the show they were up for.
Yeah.
When a crowd's hot, it makes for a better viewing experience for those at home. But getting into this card, opening the show is the first Edge and Christian tag of this reunion run, and now back to Adam Copeland.
Thank God.
It's Adam Copeland and Christian Cage defeat Killswitch and Kip Sabian. Killswitch obviously standing in for Nick Wayne in 1346. Now, I definitely think this was too long for what it was. I didn't hate this though. I do think this was the right decision to go on first, though, because for how hot this crowd was, I think you had a bulletproof opening match. I genuinely think whatever you put out there would have gone over well. So I think this was the right decision. I don't know if you got anything on this.
The ending was awesome. that pop up spear combo.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I didn't mind the match. Good opener, like you said. Any match you put here, it's gonna be a banger. But if you look at this card, there's nothing else you could put here to open this show other than this match. So, I mean,
yeah, I think it was bulletproof. Like
yeah,
you roll out Adam Copeland, they're gonna love the entrance, sing the song, etc., and they're gonna be up for literally whatever wrestling. This is why they're there. You know.
I did like how it said asshole in Christian Cage's video back.
Yeah,
So
that was funny.
little small shit, but yeah.
Only other things I got on here. I think that the heat segment on Edge was too long. I will give him that.
13 minutes is too long for this. It should have went at 10. But
yeah, definitely a 10 boy here. Yeah.
But I mean, neither here nor there.
I think the heat segment was a little too long. Kip Sabian, I think, got busted open hard way. Because I don't think they were gonna. They clearly saved all the blood for the end of this show. But otherwise, I mean, I thought this was an inoffensive opener for what it was. Yeah.
Got the crowd hype. Crowd was hyped anyway, so.
Yeah. So could have gone a lot worse. It did not, and just good to see Killswitch healthy and wrestling again. Yeah. After all he went through, you know.
Yeah. Apparently, it was a lot more serious than it was. We thought so.
Yeah, I mean, anything with like the heart, you can't fuck around with that. So to not only be alive and just like still kicking, but to be opening a pay-per-view on a major wrestling company like that's huge. So good for him, man. Honestly.
And you had Tiny Mask on Mask.
Yeah. Yep. Following that, we had the TNT Championship match. Kyle Fletcher successfully defending against Hiromu Takahashi, 15 minutes, 27 seconds. I've sung my praises about Kyle Fletcher, especially in the last couple of months. I'm going to continue to do so. I thought he commanded this match. I thought he was very good in this match.
Oh, for sure. But on the other side of that, didn't care for Takahashi that much.
He clearly was tailoring his style. He wasn't working junior heavyweight here, which, I mean, he can't against someone in Fletcher's size. He did not go full-ass psychopath Hiromu. I just don't think he can anymore. Yeah. And that is what it is. That's time and injuries and all that. Still did some wacky shit like the Poison Rana to the apron. But I think the point here was this was Fletcher's match, so to speak.
Yeah, go out there and make Fletch look good, and he, got a win over Takahashi, who's
makes me wonder why they never promoted him, even if not to heavyweight, but just putting him back in like the never open weight scene. That just seems like perfect for him, and they just have never done it. But again, that's more of a New Japan booking issue.
And where's Daryl?
Yeah, no Daryl. That was weird. Like it's Daryl. Like you could sell them to anyone.
I almost bought one.
Yeah, dude, it's Daryl. Come on. My only other notes on this. This is more just me reiterating. Fletcher has a fucking awesome last ride.
Bruh, he put some stank on that.
Yeah, it looks great every time he does it. And another thing too, because my only issues really with this match is that. I'm always going to be here, but you could have cut this, and that. But it felt like the pacing was a little bit off. Not that the match was too long. It just felt like the first half felt a lot longer than the second half, if that makes sense. Like the introductory segments, I feel dragged out a little bit. But something good we got out of those was that, again, we were talking about Bryan Danielson on commentary. He was talking about pinning technique here and leverage and shit like that. And that's like the nerd bait that I go crazy over. Because so many times I'm watching a TV match and I see somebody do a shitty pin, I'll like call it out to my brother. And when you do see wrestlers take the time and attention to make sure everything's leveraged when you're pinning somebody, like I appreciate that. So for Danielson to point that out to somebody who maybe has never looked for that, I thought that was awesome. Shout out to the GOAT, just on commentary, just calling all that.
He was 100% better on Forbidden Door than he was at that.
Yeah. And then the only other thing was, I don't know if he was out there earlier in the night, but we got Lance Archer out there in the Amiri jeans just looking cool as fuck.
He's there.
He's
All
just
right.
there to look cool, and that's awesome. I wish
I
he
s
was wrestling more, but you know what? I'm like, dude, if you're gonna just make a check looking sick, go
yeah,
for it.
man, just sit there, chill, bro. But I was the Don Callis family is like trying to be like the fucking Heenan family. Good lord, we'll talk about it, but good
Yeah,
lord.
now they're getting that main event spot, but quite honestly, if you look at the names in there, yeah, we got a lot to talk about Don Callis family a little bit later, between this show and
Dynamite
are they on the rest of the show?
on this show, yes,
Yes. Okay.
somebody comes.
Oh yeah, Okada's on this. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
we got shit to talk about. So
uh,
I keep forgetting about that match, but I actually liked it. But we'll get to it.
a lot better than the
Next,
first man.
yep. Before we get to that, though, we got a whole bunch more. Starting with the TBS title four-way match. Mercedes Moné successfully defending. We're going to say that a lot, as far as all the titles on the show. Successfully defending against Alex Windsor from AEW, Bozilla representing Stardom, and Persephone from CMLL in 1531. I thought this was a lot of fun.
Oh,
And
I fucked with this match. This shit was awesome.
yeah, and I really think this was a selling point for Bozilla. I think she can make herself a lot of money very soon. I'll say that.
Absolutely, and I what happened, or what we called was going to happen. The Mercedes was bumping for Bozilla and Windsor like crazy.
Yeah, here's the problem. The four-way I really enjoyed. I genuinely did. But I want to see Mercedes have singles matches with all these people like now.
But didn't she already wrestle Persephone?
She may have, actually.
I think she already wrestled Persephone, and it was somewhere. I think it might have been CML, or no, it might have been on. I remember Persephone wrestling someone, and then, but yeah, I want to see Monet versus Bozilla. I want to see Bozilla all the time.
Dude, she's awesome. Like, genuinely. Like,
She came out in the fucking Shingo Takai looking mask. I'm ready.
it was like a Shingo mask with the Vader smoke.
And I said sold.
Yeah.
I already seen her before, but
No, that the mask is a relatively new thing. She might have only got that when she went to Stardom, if I'm not mistaken.
okay.
Because I just watched. I'm like watching the tail end of her Marigold stuff while I'm still working my way through January. Jeez, but she had like a tag team title match that she was really good in.
I'm about to check some more of her out because I've always seen like random stuff.
Off the top of my head, dude, the Sari stuff from last year is fantastic, and then she had a match with Nanai Takahashi like last summer, like summer of 2024, which is really good. And Nanai is a damn near 30-year veteran. Like, you know, she got her over the line very well. But Bozilla is the definition of raw potential, and
Oh, absolutely.
with the right, because I think they said on commentary she's only like 22.
Yeah, they said she was young, and then her dad was a German wrestler.
Mm-hmm. And she gets her role incredibly well. And I think starting her career in Japan has done wonders. And I just think with the right coaching, working with the right people, she can be a very big deal in an American TV company for sure. The only person we didn't really talk about out of this bunch is Alex Windsor, but I thought Alex Windsor was very good in this match, and I'm excited for. I'm assuming we're gonna get the Mercedes single because yeah. Also something to look out for. Sorry to cut you off, but in October they do an all women show. They do a Friday show in Arena, Mexico. It's all women, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a Mercedes defense in Mexico next in a couple of months. So
Oh yeah. But this I like when I've been saying that since her debut. I was like, oh, okay, I'm on the Windsor train.
yeah, I'm incredibly sold. Like I'm very much sold on her now. I never had anything against her. I was just kind of seeing how it played out because I didn't watch a lot of her indie stuff. As far as this match, though, these four combined, this is a good example of having a lot of ideas happening at once, but it all kind of worked. Like nothing. I mean, maybe there was a little bit here and there where you had some cross wires, but overall, I think that they knew that, you're getting 15 minutes. You have a multi-person match, and they didn't just do one person out, one person in. They were doing a lot of combined spots, and they obviously gave Bozilla a lot of control because, I mean, she's 6 feet tall. She's towering over everybody. But I had a lot of fun with this. I thought for where it was on the card and what they were working with, they got a good outcome.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I kind of figured I was going to enjoy it anyway with, Monet always puts on a good, big match, Monet. And I'm always excited to see Rosilla, so it was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, fun match. Fun match.
Still now let's just keep a pace check. Still on a good pace here. We're rocking and rolling, AEW.
Yeah, 13 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. I think I checked after this match. I'm like, oh, we're only an hour into the show.
And we were cruising.
And now we're getting to some big stuff because next was the IWGP World Heavyweight title match. Zack Sabre Jr. successfully defending against Nigel McGuinness in 1701. I think this is my match of the night. I wouldn't call anybody crazy if you picked the main event or something else. But this is kind of the stars aligned for this to happen in the first place. And I have not watched much at all World of Sports, so I can't speak for a lot of the influences on display because they did like the video package and all that.
Yeah.
But just seeing Zach and Nigel do their thing, I think they kind of knew it was tailored to an AEW crowd, so they didn't really get into too much riffing. Or as the people call it, like grapple fuck or whatever. But this was a very snappy... It was still as Danielson called it, he said scientific instead of technical wrestling, which I think that's a cool way of putting it. These two just gelled incredibly well. There was a lot of focus on... It felt like a pissing contest, but with focus. Because it would be like Zach goes after the arm, Nigel goes after the arm. It was like, who could outdo each other? They mirrored some sequences. When they were striking, they laid the fuck in. That Nigel lariat was disgusting.
Every time.
Yeah, dude, he still got it.
He fucking took his damn head off with that lariat.
Dude, it was awesome. I'm just glad we got this match, and I'm glad it went well. I thought it was just a really damn solid match, and with these Forbidden Door shows, it's always a bit of a mixed bag, and you're not necessarily sure what to expect. And with someone like Nigel who isn't wrestling full time anymore, I don't think he will. He was ready. Like he did not look out of place with Zack Sabre Jr., who's wrestling 300 days a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like he didn't miss a beat,
Mm. But I don't know what your thoughts on this match.
I liked it. I could not my match of the night because, like you said, like it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Sure,
but like you said, it's within itself, it's a gift that we're getting this match because we never thought we'd see Nigel wrestle again, let alone wrestle the best wrestler on the fucking planet.
Damn near,
yeah. Or one of the best technical, if not the best technical wrestler right now.
He's always in that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I fucked with this match. I'm always anything with Nigel, anything with Sabre. I was tuned in. I didn't go the way I thought it was. I knew Sabre was going to win. I thought Garcia was going to turn on Nigel, but I guess they're holding that. I guess we're not doing that now.
I did too. It didn't happen, and I think maybe they thought just kind of
let Nigel get his moment. Let Sabre get the moment.
Yeah. Yes, I think they were just saying, "Hey, this is."
But they did plan a lot of red herring though for that.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, it's awesome though because Nigel has had this year a tag match and a multi-man. I still haven't seen the multi-man, admittedly, but when you're in a world title match in 17 minutes, historically, like 18 minutes, that's like a main event time slot. So in a tag match and in a fatal four way, you have smoke and mirrors, you have tagging in and out or selling on the outside. You know, you can work around limitations. In a singles match on pay-per-view, you can't do that. And at no point watching this did I think that he was hindering the match. Like, it was just a fucking solid wrestling match. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I fucked with it.
Yeah, so I thought this was really good. I recommend it to everybody. This is probably my match of the night, but like I said, I think for an AEW-oriented crowd, you could take your pick out of, quite honestly, the next 5. So, to each their own. But really love this match. I want to revisit it at the end of the year for sure. Moving along, AEW World Tag Team title match.
I'm going to pause you.
Yep.
Just right before this, Jamie Hayter came back.
Oh my god, yeah, so...
I wrote this down because I figured that one of us was going to forget.
And I did, because I'm just looking at the bell times. So forgive me. But yeah, they had the Tekla Aminata thing, which we talked about earlier, where they basically, it was in kayfabe, they were brawling through the whole show.
They were fighting for like an hour, right? Like an hour at this point, hour and a half.
Longer than that at this point, yeah, over an hour. I believe the angle is that Triangle of Madness came out and Jamie Hayter made the save.
Yeah, the same thing as they did at Wembley, All In.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
But for the circumstances with Jamie Hayter, I don't believe this was a visa issue this time. I did think she got her bell rung in the Mercedes match. And with concussions, it's never a joke. And I'm just glad she's back. Get her in that main event scene where she belongs. I think, the question coming out of the women's title match, which we'll talk about in a little bit, was, who could possibly challenge. Well, I think you have somebody ready to go right there. But let's elaborate on that a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll circle back.
Yeah. Tag team title match, though. This was presented as a 3-way match. People on the internet said it was... People on the internet said it was listed as an elimination match at one point. I never saw that personally.
Yeah, I never saw that either.
I did not see any official announcement that this was an elimination match, but they kind of went off of the board here, all things considered, because Brodito were the ones who ended up defeating FTR and taking the belts off of the Hurt Syndicate. And
we did it.
Yeah.
Our boys did it. I'm not mad at it. I am 100% cool. This is like when Keith Lee and Swerve beat the Acclaimed, and they thought the Acclaimed were going to get the tag titles, but better because it's Brodito.
I don't blame him. This is just Brodito have caught fire.
Yeah, it was just one of those organic things that happened, and if it's working, keep going, why take the flame from it? Because FTR and... Whoops, never mind, we'll get there later.
The point being was that we all thought FTR were taking these belts for their future program, and
they don't need the belts for that.
Decided otherwise, and honestly... They don't, especially with where the match is taking place. That's going to be a hot crowd for it regardless. So you look at something like Brodito, when everybody's behind it, and they just pulled the trigger because I don't know if they necessarily needed to get the belts off the Hurt Syndicate, but that was the plan. I think once we get into Dynamite, I will talk about some booking efficiency, but overall, I mean, the older I get, the more I don't really necessarily identify with cage match ratings here, but this is the lowest rated match on the show outside of the opener. I disagree. I actually had a lot of fun with this match. I thought this ruled.
There's 3 teams that absolutely kick ass.
And that's what they did.
I'm all good. And the ending took me a second to understand, or not the ending, but the Hurt Syndicate getting eliminated took me a second to understand, but Excalibur did his best to clarify what happened.
Yeah, so Gates of Agony jumped them in some like New Japan jumpsuits and shiesties.
Yeah, they're hard, first of all.
Yeah, but then when it was revealed, I'm like, oh damn, Bobby Lashley's gonna kill Ricochet, and it's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait.
And on top of that, they ran Gates of Agony and Hurt Syndicate earlier in the year in like a 6 minute sprint, and it rocked. So I'm cool with this.
And
Like
now,
I'm
and now Gates of Agony are more tenured, they're more, you know.
also maybe I haven't been paying attention, but like tonight I noticed not to cut ahead to Dynamite. When did Toa Leona cut that much weight?
It's been for a minute.
I said he looked in
Yeah,
great shape.
he looks like he's, yeah,
Good, yeah,
ripped.
good for him. Yeah,
Yeah. Shout out.
yeah. But
The other ones, was it? Oh, sorry, I forget their names.
um,
Uh,
Bishop Khan.
yeah, one of them looks like an Uso.
Yeah, Bishop Khan is the dude who looks like he ain't had a carb in 20 years.
Okay, yeah, because one of them looks like an Uso, a long lost Uso brother.
Toa Leona's got, I believe he has a Samoan tattoo.
Which one's the taller one? Because there's one taller than the other one. Whatever.
Bishop Khan's the jacked one with dreads.
Okay.
Yeah. But overall, though, I thought this match was a lot of fun. A car crash setting, Cash Wheeler's just built for it.
Man,
He's a psycho, and it's amazing.
I want to see another Brodito FTR match. Because, like, their time limit match was awesome.
Yeah.
Their last bit of the altercation in this was awesome. So, I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't want them to lose the belts, so maybe not for Wrestle them.
At least not yet.
Yeah.
You know, we got some detours, we got some other teams. I do want to say, though, with all the dirt sheet stuff about the Hurt Syndicate, go watch that Bobby Lashley Brody King standoff and tell me you don't want him in the company.
Yeah.
That shit was awesome. I'm sorry. It was sick.
I'm saying, like, if you don't want that, whatever.
Yeah. Again, booking efficiency, belts are off of the Hurt Syndicate, but they're still in a tag feud. Like, we got stuff to do here. And Brody King's a champion at AEW again. It's been a long time. Bandito is just one of the most over guys right now. Like, yeah, I just think this was, honestly, I was shocked, but I think when you really lay everything out and see where they're going, I thought this was the right decision.
I liked it. I was generally shocked. And of course, I'm going to love it. Brody King on there. Brody King, hey, give him a singles belt next, guys. Come on, he's ready.
Baby steps. The trios belts, now I got tag belts, so only one way to go from here, right?
Yeah, so it's like, and he's the longest reigning PWG tag champ. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, there you go. Next was the unified title match. Kazuchika Okada successfully defending against Swerve Strickland in 1641. I believe last week we were talking about how this could go either way, and then Swerve Strickland was very public about suffering a meniscus tear like years ago. And I just think that injury came to collect and he has to take some time off. But for a swan song match to where he's got to be away for a while, he gave it everything, man. This was a lot better than a TV match, I'll tell you that much.
This was so much better. But when you give these guys some time, more time than TV time, it was awesome. I like this.
Yeah, and what I've noticed since the Kenny match, with the Kenny match, I guess that was kind of the origin here, was it felt like they were trying to fit New Japan Okada into AEW, and sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And I think now that he's kind of leaning into a different side of himself, a little bit more of a nastier Okada, and like as a defending champion, it works a bit better for AEW, I think. So he was targeting the leg at times. Maybe it wasn't the most efficient, but Okada was never really a guy where limb work was his thing. So I think you're just seeing him try more things, and I'm all for wrestlers trying shit, like especially in someone in his position who maybe he needs a refresh. So I don't have too much on this other than you could tell Swerve really was busting his ass on his way out for now. Okada's still developing this kind of new persona and some maybe a different match layout, just trying different things. But for an Okada Swerve title match going under 17 minutes, I think that they trimmed a lot of fat, and yeah, I had a good time with this.
Yeah, I don't really have much on it other than the post match stuff.
Yeah, War Dog's back.
Big War Dog. There was a spot too, I think, where uh when Nana came down to the ring with the pipe in his hand. Pause.
Yeah,
Uh, he hit the stairs that Square's knee was on. In my
yeah,
head, I went, "Yo, what? Don't do that." But that's just like a little,
yeah.
minor thing. I started laughing at, but yeah, War Dog came and beat the dog shit out of Nana.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's great,
Because
but
I mean, you
I, mean,
have to think.
I like War Dog. I just wish they would do something like.
I mean, you have to think though. If you're writing off Swerve, you got to write off Nana, so that works. And what a better way to do that than to bring somebody in. DCF feels like a good spot for Wardlow. I mean, I think it's getting a little crowded in there, but with the growing tensions of yeah, yeah, but also with like the growing tensions of Okada and Takeshita, it's like, you know, you can have a big name leave, or some of the undercard guys you could always shuffle in and out. So, and as we saw with some stuff on Dynamite, it looks like they're going to be a more focused part of the show. So, yeah, I'm cool with this, and I'm just glad that they might actually have something for Wardlow instead of hot potatoing the belt between him and God knows who else. So,
Right.
yeah, hey man, he's young, I believe. So just get it right this time, you know.
I was happy. I was like, this might be your last chance with him, to be 100% fair.
Yeah, no, it is. I would agree.
Because
Yeah,
like you tried everything with, and it's no fault of his, I don't think. It's just, or it might be his, might be a bit of you don't know what to do with him, but this is it. If this doesn't work now, you just gotta cut ties at that point.
yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Uh, Now we're getting into the world title matches. Getting into the world title matches, beginning with Toni Storm successfully defending against Athena in 15 minutes, 16 seconds. I really like this match. I kind of wish Athena had a little more control, but when she did, it was really nasty. I think of the ring post spots in particular.
This was my match of the night.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
This
I
was
mean, these two are great.
Yeah, I was like, this was the match I was, other than the cage match, this was the match I think I was stoked for the most. Because, like we talked about, we're big Athena fans over here. And we're big Tony fans. We knew they were going to deliver, and they did. But I agree with you, though, with the Athena, like, having more control.
I just think because she's so dominant, so explosive, she could be so nasty too, while still letting her persona shine through. That I think you could have done just real simple, just her on top early, Tony Storm building up to a comeback. But I said going into this match that with this being her first pay-per-view singles match in like damn near 3 years, that she had a lot to prove. AEW pay-per-view singles match, obviously not counting all the great stuff she's done in Ring of Honor, but she had a lot to prove, and I think as a showcase, you got enough, but I still think you could have given her a little bit more. That's really my main criticism.
Yeah, I feel like we're not done, though. So, what that looks like, because I'm hoping she sticks to her guns. She said she was going to be on AEW a lot more now, so on Dynamite a lot more now.
Yeah, and they tied this in nicely because she's defending against Mina on Friday, who I'm assuming is good to go after her injury. I really believe that we're supposed to get Athena Shuri on Friday, and we've talked about it, like, multiple times how they brought in Shuri and then she had to have surgery, and I just don't think there was communication there. But they had Mina come out to chase off Billy Starks to build to this match, and they ran the vignette tonight, so that was all fine and good. I just think for a first kind of reintroduction for a lot of people, I'm sure this was fine, but I think we just know how good Athena can be, and I just would have wished she got a little bit more, but what she did was awesome. Like, I can't complain about that, and Toni Storm's Toni Storm. Like, she's their ace in that division. And kind of with the, I don't know if this is the right term, but I thought like the Shakespearean kind of look was sick.
It reminded me of, I don't know if you've seen the Gojira Olympic performance. And they had that same makeup. It was pretty badass.
Personally, and I know they protect this stuff, but I think if you did the white face paint, she could have bladed. Saying.
I thought she was going to. That's why, because that's how I was there. I even looked at my buddy Josh. I said, "Yo, she's gonna blade. She got that white face paint on." She did. Mm-hmm. But it was still a great match. It's still good. This, like I said, my match of the night. Because the cage match, to me, is its own entity.
Yeah,
because there's so much going on.
Right.
So I don't rank that as this right here is my match of the night. But the cage match was something else.
I look forward to talking about that. But just before we move on, though. Yeah, good match. It could have been great, but maybe they have a great one in them. I think Athena's going to be in that main event scene for a long time. They just have some maintenance to do as far as figuring out who the hell is going to take the Ring of Honor belt off of her, because she's held it for like damn near 1,000 days. But
yeah, I mean, like,
good match though. Yeah,
I don't even know who you would have do that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no offense to anyone down there. This is a fiend. Like, unless she just vacates it, then why would you even do that? You know?
Yeah, so they have some things to figure out. I know the question coming out of this was like, what does Toni Storm even do after this? They still never got...
There's still a lot.
They still never got back to her and Jamie Hayter. And people, maybe, at this point you might have forgotten, it was Double or Nothing 2023 that Jamie Hayter got hurt wrestling Toni Storm to lose the belt. Yeah. So that's always going to hang over that. So once Jamie's good to go and there's no visa issues, no injury issues, you heat her up properly, like that's a natural path, I think.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. But I don't know if you got anything else on that. Well, before we get into the cage match, we do have to talk about the men's world title match. And we gotta unpack this, because I know we're both.
Remember about 10 minutes ago, guys, where I said the pacing of this show was great.
Yeah, everything was pretty consistent.
Let's slow it down now.
Yeah, everything was pretty consistent up until about this point. Nothing broke 20 minutes. And when we say that, we're not saying everything has to be short or everything has to be a certain length. I mean, I think it's harder to have a good match that's long, just because the longer you go, more things can go wrong. And that could be for a variety of reasons. One of those reasons where something can go wrong is abandoning structure and just bad ideas. And in the case of Hangman Adam Page versus MJF, I would say that they abandoned structure, but more importantly, there's a lot of bad ideas in this match.
Oh, lots.
And you never know for sure, but I've watched enough MJF matches to put two and two together that I feel like he was the problem. I'm not going to lie. Hangman Adam Page did successfully defend against MJF in 31 minutes and 38 seconds. So, big jump up from anything else on this show. And it honestly didn't start off too horribly, but this was a match that completely went off the cliff. And I don't know how you feel, but that's how I feel.
Oh, I did not like this match, and it was like I don't think I didn't like this match because of Hangman. Uh,
Oh, so you're on the other
I,
side.
well, I know I agree with you.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying it's not
Yeah,
Hangman's.
it's not
Yeah.
Hangman's
Oh,
fault that I didn't like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree
yeah,
with you.
yeah.
And what's crazy is because, like, I like MJF,
Mm-hmm.
but recently his matches for me haven't really been kicking. You know what I'm saying? Like, this one, if I think this the length killed me to be 1,000%. I'm like, bro, it should not have been this long. uh, Especially leading into a match that's going to be long. Like,
100%. 100%. Because with MJF, there's always going to be an element of whether it's heel chicanery or just outright bullshit. But the bullshit should never dominate the way that it did here. Because it felt like, clear cut things, match is fine, they're doing a bunch of stuff, there's some blood. MJF had a great blade job to his credit.
he always had a nice blade job.
Yeah, he
Oh,
can gig for sure. But once that ref bump happened, this just went off the rails.
yeah. Uh, the end, not the end. Like all right when the ref bump, everything else pissed me off. Uh, because uh, we'll get there, but the ending or the false ending, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
where Bryce counted the three. Why'd he do a 360? So,
Yeah, like
but
none of this made sense. So for
and then he
context, oh, go
counted
ahead.
three. Sorry, not to cut you off, but he counted
Yeah,
three, and then I don't know. Did Briscoe miss his cue? Did something? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what
this all
happened.
felt off. Nothing felt right. You can go to the billion false finishes, the one false finish where Bryce did fuck it and counted three while Hangman was on the rope, and I thought maybe we were gonna do the VAR restart, like where they'd be like, hey, like his foot was on the rope, this match will continue. Instead, Bryce counted three and the match kept going. And there's this really awkward pause. Like everybody knew something went wrong. On top of that, why are we 25 minutes into the match doing the fucking pin trading, the one count pin trading?
Yeah, like do that. Fuck it. Yeah, no.
In the first 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, it just felt like every bad idea you could have shoehorned into the end of a match, MJF did.
Yeah, it's like,
And it just lost me the longer it went. And god damn did this go long.
yeah, it this drained me. uh, and then to piggyback, like Bryce did that stupid 360, counts to three, and then Briscoe comes out. I was like, I thought Briscoe was supposed to come out and then that was going to stop the three, but why was his foot on the rope? It all made no sense. None of this made any sense. But
No, none of this shit made sense. I know some people arguing whether putting MJF through a table is disqualification or not. So I'm like, maybe don't do the table spot at all. Um, I mean, I know you can argue stuff outside the ring is fair game, but it just felt like all the stuff that should have happened before the ref bump came after. Stuff that should have happened 10 minutes into them. Like, structurally, so much of this felt backwards. And I think that the whatever the fuck happened with the 3 count took the wind out of the sails of everybody in the room and everybody at home, and they just kept going and going and going with ordinary false finishes that just felt tired. And this just screams MJF. This has MJF fingerprints all over the damn match. And it's very frustrating, man.
I didn't care for this. This was if I could have, it would have been my Underhook plus 10 of the night. Uh,
Yeah, this is if you didn't see this match, honestly, I think this is a confident skip.
yeah, you can you don't everything else on this card. Please watch this
Yeah,
one. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. I will say Hangman did crack the shit out of MJF with that contract though, and that was entertaining. But
sure.
other than that, there was nothing else to. No, I'm okay. And Hangman, this wasn't your fault. Just saying.
No, I
Uh,
didn't think Hangman. I didn't think Hangman was outright bad in this match. It was just the thing with MJF is there's only so much you can save.
yeah,
I said it last week and I'll say it now. He's just a wrestler I want to like a lot more than I do, and this is exactly why. And I'm fine with having a major promotion where they let wrestlers express themselves and lay out the matches how they want to, but I'm just like, just somebody get in this guy's ear and just don't do this. This doesn't make any sense. And now we're kind of back to square one as we'll talk about a little bit later. But this is not what you want for Hangman's first pay-per-view defense at all.
yeah, no.
I would have just had him do the triple threat here and get Mark Briscoe on the card, especially if you're going to fly him out anyways.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I was like, I'm surprised he's not on the card, but
Maybe that was the plan, and maybe now his wife had a baby, so maybe
uh,
that messed with the booking, and that's hey, congratulations. But I still think for a singles match with a fuck finish, you could do a lot better than this. That's all I'm trying to say.
yeah, understandable.
It's wild to me that match was damn near as long as the main event, considering how the main event felt. Because after our sanctioned event, the lights went out,
Spooky.
and the babyface team, Darby Allin, the Golden Lovers, being Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, the Ace of the World and my president, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay, defeated the Death Riders and the Young Bucks in a lights-out steel cage match in 32-25. This is just one of those matches where you have to just throw everything out of the window and take what you can from it because, yeah, everything was happening during this match. I had a lot of fun with it, though. I'll be real.
I had great fun. My ADHD didn't really have that much fun, but it was awesome. A lot of sick, crazy ass spots. There were that fork spot is I'm gonna live rent free in my head.
Yeah,
Uh,
just totally fucked.
yeah, I literally was. I think I woke my son up because I was screaming. I said, "What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
I sad that I didn't get a high fly flow off the cage, but I understand why. It's because they built a solid, like Hell in a Cell style cage.
Yeah, it was like somewhere between Hell in a Cell and Cage of Death,
Yeah, and
which was the right decision because there was too many people for a
yeah, there's way too many people.
yeah for a normal cage.
I mean, the ace didn't. He didn't. I get it. The knees couldn't handle it, but hey, the ace got the pin though, so that was pretty sweet.
That was the right thing to do, I thought, just for the sake of last match there, babyfaces win. Uh, I do want to talk about the body of the match, but before we do, before the post match angle, I got a little upset because Ospreay like kind of invited Tanahashi to celebrate with him in the ring, and Rick Knox kicked him out.
Yeah,
And I was like, "Hey, what the fuck? Like, it's his last time here." But then, I'm like, okay, they're doing an angle, and AW's pretty. Aside from All In, they're pretty strict about when they go off of the air, and maybe in England, I don't know what their curfews are like in England. So they clearly had to, shoot the angle there.
yeah.
But
Shout out to Osprey though for trying, get
mhm,
a give Tanahashi his curtain call for wrestling in England, but uh, yeah, they fucking killed Osprey.
they sure did.
But
Before we get to that point, though, I do
oh
want to
yeah,
talk about just some bits from the actual match.
hell yeah.
My takeaways from this, um, for where Kota Ibushi's at with his health, I actually thought he was good in this match.
I'm saying he looked good and good. Like he looks better now than he did when he first came back. Like in the Blood and Guts.
Yeah, like
So,
he looks revitalized. I mean maybe a Golden Lovers tag run is might be what both of them need right now.
yeah, especially Kenny. He looked a little rough today or tonight when he came. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um
but Darby was taking some nasty bumps in this match.
I mean, we knew he was gonna shine in a fucked up setting like this. I'm glad we ended up getting the main event that we did tonight because I thought Claudio was fantastic in this match.
Yeah,
Really, my only issue, because I knew that they were going to do too much. That's always the AEW multi-man shit show spectacular with all the people in it. But really, my only issue was I didn't hate the gummy bears bit. I hated that it just felt so out of place when you're going from the Young Bucks are doing a gag where their thumbtacks are replaced with gummy bears, and then John Moxley shoving a fork into a legitimately ruptured eardrum. And it's just there's a little bit of dissonance
oh,
there.
I
You know what
love
I mean?
professional wrestling. Uh,
That's a crazy sentence to begin with that I just said.
yeah, it's like, uh, yeah, I love. I can't. This is pro wrestling in a nutshell. Gummy bears and forks in ears.
I messaged a friend during this and I was like, "Yo, they're presenting this as an Osprey farewell match, but Darby Allin might actually fucking die in this
Yeah,
cage." When they taped him up to the steel chair and Claudio picked him up, I was just like, "Guys, like, guys, I'm never safety police. I like a lot of the fucked up stuff. Don't get me wrong, but as far as what pro wrestling is designed to do, I genuinely felt scared with some of the Darby stuff in this match. But it was great. John Moxley still looked like the best wrestler in the world. The Death Riders feel revitalized with what happened after the match, and then like again, like I didn't come out of this feeling like anybody felt lessened. I mean, I don't think Gabe Kidd. Never mind. I'll say Gabe Kidd didn't have a lot to do. He took the big fall off of the cage,
yeah.
with through the tables.
I could tell you who should feel lessened. Wheeler Yuta, because he wasn't cool enough to be a part of the team.
I really thought Danielson was gonna kill him during the match. Like Danielson was gonna do a run it
When
because
Danielson left, I was like, he's gonna come back in that Blue Panther mask.
mhm.
Nope.
I think that means that they're saving that for when he feels comfortable to do like a one off or something.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
And
because he wasn't around tonight either. I think they just wanted him there for Nigel and Zach and whatnot. But
probably just have a fill in for Taz. Because
mhm.
Taz wasn't in England, so
Yeah, and how they wrote off Justin Roberts for Scotland, but not England. Maybe there's some visa stuff. You never know with international things. But uh, overall, though, I'm not. This isn't a match I'm going to consider when I'm making my big year-end list. But it's hard to not just shut your brain off and have a blast with something like this. You know what I mean?
but yeah, that's why I said it's its own entity. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it,
100%.
there's so much going on, crazy. So
Yeah.
Will
So if
Ospreay,
you're,
who's damn near paralyzed, is doing moonsaults off the top of the cage.
yep, yep. Uh, I do love how they ended the show though, because they could have just gave Osprey a standing O and everybody leaves happy. But from what I can tell, especially with like, if you take for example last year's Forbidden Door, Osprey's like, let me lose to Swerve just to tell people I'm not just gonna walk in here and win the title. It does feel like he genuinely cares about keeping things moving as far as programs that are in place, and he's saying I'm not going to be here for a while, let these guys get their heat, and the Death Riders do feel revitalized, I think, coming out of this show.
Oh yeah, I
It helps
especially
when John Moxley fucking brained him like 8 times.
especially after tonight, they were the Mox match and the Claudio match tonight. They
Yeah,
were all gas, no brakes, baby.
yeah, so Osprey
If
getting killed off essentially
yo them
really
spam
worked.
fucking
The Death Rider.
yeah, those spam. I was like, geez, he's got unlimited finishers.
Yeah, he was in his unlimited finishers, his R1L1 and all that. But overall, this it feels like what I've had to say about a lot of AEW pay-per-views, where there's a lot of good, there's a big chunk of stuff that maybe I didn't care about, but they've hit a new baseline, I think, in 2025, where you're not going to get, when they were doing 4 shows a year, they were all like must-see. Now you're getting good shows every time for the most part. But I'll take a good show a couple times a month. You know what I mean? Like, or every 2 months or whatever. So I'm comfortable with where they're at. Again, though, I just don't think the show fulfilled the gimmick. But as we described in the weeks leading up to the show, there was all kind of complications as far as they wanted this weekend in this country, but that obviously didn't fly with like New Japan Stardom as far as their tournament schedules. I don't know what the deal with not having CMLL talent on this show was, but it was kind of just, it is what it is.
Well, they had Persephone. She's
and Hechisara was there. Blue Panther was there this weekend. He wasn't on this show though.
I never seen Blue Panther and Bryan Danielson in the same room since they had the match. Coincidence? I think not.
Maybe you're onto something, but Blue Panther was in the country and he wasn't anywhere to be found. But point being, I hope next year, because All In's going to be in late August next year at Wembley in the UK, that maybe Forbidden Door they'll know to do either before or after the G1 and the 5-star, so you can showcase New Japan Stardom, hopefully CMLL as well, because CMLL are hotter than shit right now. But overall, yeah, I'd say, like, I don't know, like, this was like a B+, like a perfectly enjoyable show with a lot to like on it. Not an all-timer, not like a show of the year level for me, but I had a really good time watching it, so I can't complain.
I gave it a B-.
Yeah,
just
around that. Yeah.
Yeah, just the pacing was good into the end.
Yeah, the really only like terrible thing was that world title match, I thought. Yeah.
But
so, I'm with you. B-ish.
I always like a good afternoon pay-per-view. So
hell, I think there should be more of them, quite honestly.
I think all of them should be afternoon. Get me the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why you probably couldn't do that during football season, unless you do it on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, even college football, I don't know what they're competing with, what they're looking at. But I'm with you. I enjoy the matinee shows for sure. Well, that being said, we roll right into the August 27th episode of AEW Dynamite, beginning their residency in the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, formerly known as the ECW Arena, which if you've seen any show from this arena, you'll recognize it immediately. I think before we talk about the actual material, we should talk about the setup and the presentation, because
I loved it.
If you don't know, Tony Khan is a massive ECW mark, to the point where he had his dad take him to a show when he was a kid. And they really tried to replicate that setup with the bleachers, the house lights on at all times, and just an entranceway. Because if you've seen shows in this room in the last couple of years, like, they'll do stages, they'll do lights, they'll do all this bullshit. And they really tried to recapture that energy of those old ECW shows, which I'm watching a whole bunch of that right now, so I definitely appreciated that. But for a follow-up show and to set things up for All Out, I think this was a very fun episode of TV, and this was paced crazy style. Like, this was nonstop. I don't know about you.
It flowed great. Like, segment into next segment. I loved everything. Like, I'm stoked for their, I was going to say excited. I'm stoked for their residency here, because the venue looks like, the arena looks sick. I'm excited to see. They're going to go probably have some hardcore matches again.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to do. I want to see some of the weird shit they booked for Collision, and then they still have to finalize the card for Friday night at this very same venue. They're doing Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, which we'll talk about whatever's announced after we get through Dynamite, because I am going to be tuning into that in some way, shape, or form, whether it's live or otherwise.
There's one match I'm interested in. We'll get there.
Yeah, yeah, of course. You're gonna have to help me fill in some gaps because with some family matters, I basically got inside the house as Garcia and Moxley was going on.
Okay, so to start the show, FTR opened up.
Yeah,
They came out, blamed Paul Turner for screwing them not being the tag champions. Rewind. As they were walking to the ring, Cash Wheeler was arguing with a FedEx driver. Pretty fucking funny. Uh,
dude, Cash is the fucking man, dude.
I loved everything about that. And then they were just talking about how Turner counted the wrong man, screwed him over. Crowd was chanting "No hose" at one point. That was great. And then they were gonna attack Turner, and then that's when Adam Copeland comes out. And so this sets up for Copeland keeps looking back. Christian's nowhere to be found, but Christian comes in the back through the crowd and attacks FTR. This is going to set up the match at All Out for FTR against Edge and Christian.
Yes. We've been talking about this since we started the show. This was bound to happen.
They actually, Edge said it, it's set in stone because they announced it's All Out FTR versus CNC. And that's what he said was CNC. And I just thought of the Music Factory.
CNC Music Factory. You could do Coke and Cognac. You could do Canadian Club. There's all kind of things you can. But Coheed and Cambria. There you go. So Cage and Copeland. Only thing I saw, I turned my TV on. Christian was swinging on people in the olive jacket, which respect. Got your swag on while you're beating on fools. So shout out.
There was one part. Christian grabbed the mic and said, "At Forbidden Door, we handled my problem. Now we're gonna handle Adam's problem." And he said, "I understand that Dax and Cash both have fathers." And Copeland took the mic and was just like, "Yeah, we ain't doing that right now," kind of. And then the crowd booed him so much that he gave the mic back to Christian and said, he's like, "Who said that Cash's bitch ass dad is dead?"
Oh, okay, there you go. Got it. Something I actually think that they're doing really well here is they didn't overtly turn Christian Cage. He never changed his character. So you're getting these moments for how long the Edge Heat segment was in the Forbidden Door match. It was simply because Christian didn't want to tag in. They're figuring this shit out on screen, and I actually love that.
I loved it, because he was still playing the coward shitbag.
Yeah,
When Luchasaurus got in, he to go back to Forbidden Door real quick. He tagged him. I remember that. Yeah, he tagged him in. And he's like, he pointed to him I ain't.
Yeah, so it's almost like this, you're seeing Christian and Edge figure it out on screen, and I think there's a lot of good bits that you could do with that. This included. So maybe they got something here. I know we were kind of hesitant to embrace it.
After this, that's when I realized you don't need the tag titles for this, because after this right here, the crowd was already sold on it, and
plus Toronto's going to be hanging. They're going to be hanging from the rafters and throwing babies for these two.
And they better come out with the sweet glasses and do 5, for the benefit of those that flash photography. But
I think with Toronto though, use a betting term here. It's like a free hit,
Yeah, it's
Toronto. It's going to go over well regardless, and from there you can.
Same thing as the opening match at Forbidden Door.
Sure, yeah, and you don't even have to open it Forbidden Door or in Toronto, so you can kind of do what you want and see how it goes. So I think that's the safe play. So I have no problem with this. I'll be real. I've warmed up to it a lot more since I saw it.
After the Forbidden Door match, I was like, okay,
yeah,
I'm with it, because it's harmless. I mean, like
You're not having Edge hold the fucking main event
yeah.
scene hostage.
He's
It's not-
he's literally teaming with his friend, having a good time. I don't care, man. Like whatever.
yeah, and considering this is, I mean, their last run as a tag team, I'm sure they're going to really put a lot of care into it. So I hope the match goes over well. I mean, we'll see where the program goes. We got a lot of time. We got about a little under a month until this is in the ring.
And then right after that, though, just really quick, there was a Darby promo, uh, which just you should go back and watch if you get a second because it was kind of interesting because it was him showing off like the bloody torn ear.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like all the blood. He had like blood dripping down his hands, and then he painted a like he wrote all out on the board in blood with two bloody handprints. And it was crazy. It was shot really well. It was pretty awesome. He said he was talking about how like when he was climbing the bodies on when he was climbing on Mount Everest, he saw the bodies, and he admitted to crying because he realizes how life is fragile. So I was like, uh huh. But you should, if you get a second, go back and watch watch that little vignette. It's pretty awesome.
I've been ready for this match for months, but like, there's not a single wrestling match this year I'm more excited for than this Moxley Darby match that will happen, despite what they say. But before we get to that, we have a Moxley match tonight against Daniel Garcia, and I love this match. I thought this was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I'm glad that they let Garcia be Garcia, you know. And
Moxley was incredibly giving, to his credit too, with all of the legwork, and it takes a certain type of wrestler to balance selling like that while still being able to clap back and just kill it off at his leisure. You know what I mean?
okay,
Credit to Ian Riccaboni on commentary, 'cause he was getting into some real X's and O's shit with the leg, saying, "Oh, that's the leg he plants on. That's where a lot of his offense comes from." I eat that shit up personally. That's why a lot of the Danielson commentary on Sunday worked for me. But this match not only continues an incredible run of matches on TV for Jon Moxley, but this is the type of match Garcia needed, probably more than anybody.
yeah, because he needs to. Whatever they're doing with him, they need to shit or get off the pot. Because,
Yeah.
and it feels like after we're gonna get that turn now, slowly but surely. So
Him being in Death Rider's orbit is interesting. I would say the same thing for Stat. I wonder if they're not going to shuffle the deck here soon.
I just thought Moxie was trying to kiss him.
Yeah, the way he leaned in looked kind of freaky, I'll be real. But
I say, ooh.
he loved the match that much. I don't know if I love the match that much.
They had like they had Yuta talking, where you saw in the background them still mingling. You know.
Yeah, dude, Yuta just being he's such a great just shithead.
Yeah, Shaggy Dog.
Yeah, like if it ain't Danielson, it's gonna just bulldoze him. Somebody will. There's a lot of good stuff here to where Moxley kind of got in his bag with some stuff that people don't give him enough credit for. Stuff on the mat. Like there was a reversal from Garcia basing for a hold, and then Moxley quickly turned it into an arm bar, and it just looked amazing. And stuff on the outside with the leg and all that too, really good. And then obviously the finish where Garcia had the sharpshooter or dragon tamer in, and then Moxley just flipped it into the roll up. That type of win, Moxley scraping away with a win, I think that gives Garcia enough to have an issue, and to where if he's not going to continue to feud with the Death Riders, I mean, he's just going to take it out on somebody else. However, give me Garcia beating Yuta in like 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Shit can Yuta.
Give me a Garcia Claudio match soon. Like, I think there's something here, and hell, even put him in the group if you had to.
I mean, do what you do with Yuta to initiate him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what you did for Yuta. That's what You'd have had that one solid ass fucking bloody ass match.
You know what's sad? I don't think I talked about this with you before. I'm reading through right now the Way of the Blade AW book by Phil Schneider. Awesome book, by the way. It's like $7 on Kindle, and it's about AW's bloodiest matches up until I don't know if anything from 2024, maybe 2023. I didn't get that far in the book yet. I did just read about the Danielson Garcia match, the really bloody one. And Garcia was talking about how it was the time of his life, and he was very earnest about saying how he thought that was going to be the turning point of his career, and it wasn't, and just how much he loved working with Dragon. And maybe this is the next best thing. Obviously, he's not going to get to work with Bryan Danielson for a while, but maybe you heat him up here. Just make him a fucking killer again. We said last week, bring back Red Death. It's time.
It's been time.
Mm-hmm.
He got stuck in that Jericho fucking vortex.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the dancing shit was funny, but it's done now. Red Death, baby, let's go.
No, the fact that the TNT title reign went nowhere, we do need a refresh. I'm gonna need you to help me fill in a gap here. I stepped out of the room to get some food when Hook came out.
Okay, so for some reason, after we got back from commercial, Yuta was back in the ring, and was just talking shit about how he did mention Danielson though, and he said he slayed the dragon and replaced him, and then that's when the lights go out, and then Hook comes out with some new music. I don't know what music it was, but it was hot.
No more Action Bronson.
No more Action Bronson, but it was like Frank Sinatra, but trap Frank Sinatra. I don't know what it was.
Damn, someone chopping up samples back there.
But he comes out with his pompadour hair and takes out Yuta, and then walks out, and that's it.
Yeah, I think Hook needs to be a part of these shows. ECW Arena. By the way, 1994 Tasmaniac fucking rocks.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Just saying. Yeah, like I didn't see a lot of Tasmaniac. I feel like historically they try to dismiss Tasmaniac and play off just when he turned into Taz, but Tasmaniac in general, he's still a really good wrestler.
Tasmaniac was a menace.
Yeah, Tasmaniac rocks. So just want to point that out.
So then after that we should have the MJF interview.
MJF pre-tape, yeah.
Which I liked his pre-tape he did. I don't like now how they said you gotta have a notice to do the contract.
It feels weird making that amendment while it's still active.
Yeah, because you should have done that next time. Because you can't.
Well, we said what they should have done from begin with. Whoever wins the casino match gets the next title shot.
Because that's exactly what happened, and but hey, I think they're trying to. I think they might have feel like, oh fuck, we fucked up, kind of thing.
Yeah,
here.
I'm okay with that though, especially shortly after it happens. Just it's fine for me for a promotion to be like, all right, this didn't work, we're gonna try something else. I'm cool with that.
We're gonna pivot. It's cool, but
yeah,
that's the only issue I had with that. Like, I feel like he cut a good promo here. Went a little crazy. Say he's gonna kill Briscoe, more or less. So,
yeah. But moving on though to the women's tag of the night, Harley Cameron. I believe this is her first Dynamite match since her injury.
I think so.
Yeah, teaming with Chris Statlander against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, and they gave the ladies a lot of time, and I had a lot of fun with this.
I'm a big Harley Cameron fan.
It was good. It was good to see her back, and I think the combination offense with her and Stat was really cool.
Any team she's in, she's golden. Like,
and maybe that's another tally. For when they get those tag belts, she could be a permanent fixture with the right partner.
Yeah, because this works with current. This is out of nowhere too. It's probably on some Collision stuff that I haven't seen, but.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I thought Statlander was the glue here, though. I think she
Oh,
really kept
absolutely,
things
yeah.
moving.
And the fact that they won is awesome. Uh, they need those tag belts sooner rather than later.
If not by the end of the year, early next year for sure. But I've said in past episodes how I think that this Bane Ford team is a good act for television. I thought Penelope Ford, every now and then she's gonna have some moments. I don't think she had any here. They kept things moving. I thought she was good in this match. They made it, kind of anchoring things around Bane and Statlander, which I think they should have a big blow off at some point. I know they had like a mini feud when Bane came in, but it feels like they're heating that back up,
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And
which I'm
then,
cool with that. I think they're a good pairing.
yeah, but then it gets confusing because Willow comes out.
Yeah, so after this, Statlander wins the match. Willow comes out right before Stat's about to kind of lay in on Megan Bane. And again, I gotta go back and watch this Forbidden Door if there's any inclination there. It just felt strange for Willow to come out to defend the heel.
But no, that's what I was confused because there was no inclination on Forbidden Door other than they were helping each other, or they were in that match. That was it.
Yeah, so that was very strange. Although, hear me out. They're in the ECW Arena till All Out. Maybe we get another Stat Willow barn burner.
I hope so, but
Still don't make sense, but
yeah, none of this. Yeah, I'm hoping they go. I trust the process. You know what? Trust the
yeah.
process.
I've said it plenty of times. I will say it again. I appreciate the work that they've done with this women's mid card. Because in case of tonight, we got a really fun match. Tony and Mercedes didn't wrestle, and it didn't feel like it was missing, But in cases like this, and in cases like the Amanada Tekla stuff, you do need to follow through. So just clean this up a little bit. I don't think it needs to be any sort of major shift. Just follow through on the things that you've built. Otherwise, though, I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Moving on, a bit of a nothing promo from Mercedes. I do have a couple of points, though.
This is all you because I missed this.
A bit of a contradiction in the promo because she's saying how she wants to break Ultimo Dragon's record. She wants to hold more than 10 belts. But then she starts talking about Alex Windsor. She's like, well, she don't have a belt. And she kind of dismissed her a little bit, but it feels like you're starting to allude that you're going to have a challenge. But by even mentioning Alex Windsor, you're already inferring that this is where we're going. So I think that was a little contradictory. Or maybe it was more so of like, we're doing the Windsor match at All Out, which I'm for. I want to see that match. I genuinely do. But it's almost like, don't bring in the outside stuff if you're not going to do it on TV. My other observation was, I don't know if you saw her wig.
I saw, yeah.
The pink and the bleach blonde, it really looks like Dakota Kai's wig when they started Damage Control.
That'd be hot if she came up in there, bro. I forgot she was a free agent.
I know it's a bit of a reach, but I'm just pointing that out. I would love for her to sign. I know she's a free agent. I don't know if she does. I don't know. It's not a real thing. It's not a rumor. I just know that
You just pointed something
the wig
out.
looks awfully similar to what Dakota Kai had going on when Bayley's formed Damage Control. So take that with like half a grain of salt. I'm not speculating shit, but if you reach far enough, you might get to where I'm at. I'll put it like that.
Just making an observation.
Yep. After that was Mark Briscoe had another baby. So yeah, congratulations.
Hell yeah.
He newborn in the promo. It's a very Mark Briscoe thing to do.
He just pulled him in.
Yeah.
I walked back into the room like after commercial or whatever. I walked back right as he had the baby in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
They showed a baby, yes. And then and then he just goes on to say he's gonna kill MJF and Kyle Fletcher.
which I'm here for both because I still want the true blood feud match with MJF, and Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher have tremendous chemistry. So whether that's not all out, I would love if Mark Briscoe got to wrestle in the ECW. I know he wrestled here in Ring of Honor, but Mark Briscoe in the ECW Arena makes perfect sense if you harken back to the Violent People promo. Him and Jay talk about how they got bled on by John Cronus, and that's what made them want to become pro wrestlers. So this is a very sentimental building for him. So I'd love to see Mark Briscoe wrestle for AEW in the 2300 arena.
I'm pretty sure we might see him. Depending.
Delaware ain't that far away, right?
I don't even know where Delaware is on the map.
Yeah, it's in the region, in the area. Then we get to the top of the hour. Crazy tag match here. Like, just on paper, this is nuts. It's Brodito with Jet Speed versus the Don Callis family team of basically their A-team. Hechicero, Josh Alexander, Kazuchika Okada, and Konosuke Takeshita. Party match, and a damn fun one.
If the main event wasn't the main event, this would have been my match of the night. But
I probably go higher on the Moxley match personally, but I mean, you know how I feel about Moxley matches these days.
Mox is the ace, so I can't really, But like,
This was a blast, though.
this was fun. I like the teasing of Takeshita and Okada too. Like the spot where they're in the corner, and then Takesha's the last person. Okada's running. He just moves. Oh, that's great. Good times.
We're kind of back to where we were a year ago, where they were teasing this match. So maybe they're finally on the same page to where they're going to follow through with it.
Yeah, it looks like they might be now that Takesha's back from.
Yeah, we're just casually winning the G1. I feel like they didn't talk about it very much, but
Yeah, Alex Excalibur announced it once.
and
And he announced it once, I think, on Forbidden Door too. That was it.
he's challenging pretty soon. By the way, he's not waiting till Wrestle Kingdom.
Did they change? Didn't you tell me they changed it? Or no?
I believe now the wrestler has the choice. So he's exercising that. If it's not September, it's October. I believe Zach's defending against Ren Narita, and then whoever wins that's going to wrestle Takeshita. But I mean, I would be shocked if Ren Narita wins the world title. So Zach Takeshita, I believe, at Power Struggle. I always get Power Struggle and King of Pro Wrestling mixed up. And so I think Takeshi's going to win the IWGP heading into the Dome. But before we get to there, we got this match, and it made me think back to 2023. Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight wrestled in this room in the main event of the It was like a TNA New Japan Junior All-Star Festival, and they're the main event. So funny how that works. That also had the Tanahashi Alex Shelley match, which they booked that for me.
Steve will like this one.
Yeah, those are my guys, man. But yeah, this was a blast. All systems go, all kind of moving parts. Funny to see Okada in that environment, especially because Takeshita can do the car crash and the fireworks stuff. But seeing Kazuchika Okada in there is hilarious. But I mean, hey, you made it work.
It's like a sore thumb.
Yeah. Because, this is prestige wrestler, fucking main event guy. But that was funny, but I think he served his role well. I got no complaints on this. This was just a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of people flying around. And Josh Alexander got the win, and he doesn't do that a whole lot these days.
Yeah, shout out to Josh Alexander. I need more of him on my TV. Because I forgot they signed him. There's a lot of people I forgot that they signed that I don't see anymore. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, stoked Josh Alexander got the dub, and then I feel where do we go for? And then other than Okada and Takeshita, I wonder where we're going from here.
Yeah, it muddies the water a little bit just with what we'd see at the top of the hour, but or if this was a top hour, just in the second half of the show, I'll generalize it like that. Uh, this is inadvertently a build-up tag to Friday because Bandito's defending against Hechicero in the main event, which that should be awesome. I want to see where they go with it because Hechicero can kind of do anything, and Bandito's like one of the fireworks guys right now. I just, yeah, it's gonna be a good match. I'm excited for that. So Hangman comes out for his town hall, does the babyface thing, thanks Will Ospreay, and wishes him well. I believe that was like, I don't think anybody else brought it up on the air, if I'm not mistaken.
If they did, I did not hear them. I think Excalibur may have said something, but
Maybe on commentary, but no wrestler did.
no wrestler said anything. No.
Yeah, so he's pretty much just unpacking everything that happened on Sunday. He said, in the line of he'll beat MJF's ass for the ink dry on the contract, which I like. I just don't know. I'm trying to figure out when this is going to happen because Don Callis feuding with Hangman gives you weeks of TV. And maybe this is just a short-term thing. Maybe this is what they're doing while they're in Philly. And maybe somebody from the Don Callis family gets the challenge at All Out. But, again, you don't want to see your world champion in too many programs, right?
Yeah.
But what does happen is not only Don Callis talking his shit, but the family comes out and jumps Hangman. Following that, Bailey and Knight were just in the match. They come running back out there. But interesting enough, Kenny Omega makes the save.
Clean shaved Kenny Omega.
And I don't think these two have interacted. I mean, shit, since All In 2023? It's been a long time.
Crazy.
And what happened after All Out 2023? Well, the Swerve feud started for Hangman, and that turned into his heel turn and everything. And Omega was on the shelf for so long. These are two different wrestlers now.
Completely two different.
Yeah, like they've both been through a lot, and them teaming again is interesting to me. I know that's basically the party match next week, which Kenny Omega in a party match. Let's go. I just want to see what this has to do with the. Excuse me. I just want to see what this has to do with the world title going forward, because you could do a TV defense with any of these guys. You know what I mean? I don't know if Hechicero gets that because he's getting the Ring of Honor title.
I think it's going to be Josh Alexander, to be fair.
I mean, and they had a good match when Alexander debuted, so I'm cool with that.
I know, or Lance Archer. Give me Lance Archer.
They've had great matches in the past. Takeshita and Hangman had a really good match.
Those didn't they have like a Texas death match?
Yeah, where Hangman did the buckshot over the ref.
Yeah. So that, I mean, Rocky Romero came out looking a little saucy.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I forgot who that was because he looked completely different when I was like, who is that? I was like, oh, that's Rocky Romero.
But you already know. Roppongi. Yeah. But it's more of a wait and see. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna see. But Kenny and Hangman shake hands. They're on good terms. Very interesting development there. Following that, I've got a pre-tape for the Athena Mina match this weekend. Again, I think this was supposed to be Athena Shuri, and they're just making do. But as long as Athena's healthy and good to go, because she fucked up her hand, I believe, in the gauntlet match.
Yeah, they talked about it, I think, in a promo, right? About someone breaking their hand.
Yeah, Mina broke her hand in the casino gauntlet match.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Then they're like, "Oh, how's it going?" She slaps the shit out of Tony. So
yeah, so it should be that should be fun. I'm excited for that. We'll talk about that. We'll run down whatever's announced for ROH after we get through Dynamite. We've got a couple more matches here. I don't remember this being announced, but I was really cool with the matchmaking. It was Ricochet and Gates of Agony challenging the Ops. I figured that they didn't that Ricochet and Gates of Agony wouldn't have won because Ricochet made a big point of his whole path of winning gold. I don't think that pays off in trios titles, unfortunately. I think that'll pay off with a singles belt.
Yeah, that TNT title for sure at some point.
But for what this was, this was cool. Shibata and Toa Leona just beating the shit out of each other in a real extended sequence.
Yeah, that was a chop sequence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the hesitation dropkick was sick as fuck after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like this match, man. I mean, I'm always down to see the ops on the TV, so.
For an unprompted match, this was a lot of fun. Really puts in my head, though, this version of Ricochet versus Samoa Joe at some point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, give me that. Maybe it all out. Who knows? But yeah, this was cool. But more importantly, you had MVP run in to muddy the finish a little
Look
bit.
like Billy Corgan.
Yeah, MVP run in, and then Hurt Syndicate brawls away with Gates of Agony. So I don't think we're done there. That screams like Collision main event all over it, but I'm ready for it, man.
Hey, that's definitely the Collision probably on Saturday. But I'm with it though. We're gonna see more than one for sure. And then Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet, where Bobby Lashley's just gonna beat the dog crap out of him. Yeah, give me that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot here. Like, Ricochet being kind of in the middle of all this is ideal, really, because you have all kinds of situations of him to eat shit in glorious fashion. And as we saw at the Briscoe feud, he can lose and it's not going to really hurt him. Yeah, Ricochet's in a good spot. I want to see him featured more because he wasn't on the main card of the last pay-per-view. So what I was alluding to earlier, though, by having Gates of Agony and Lashley and Shelton feuding, you have a tag feud, no belts. That's a valuable thing to have. And you can fill out a card on any Dynamite or Collision. I say Collision main event just because, I don't know, I read those names like, oh yeah, Collision Street Fight. Yeah, right. But you could do whatever you want there. You could really bolster a card with that. I think that's a good piece that you could really fit anywhere. Excited to see where that goes. But main event of the evening.
Match of the night. This is, I don't know about you, this is the Underhook match of the night for me.
Not even close. This is one of the best things AEW has presented all year. I don't think it could have gone any other way. I remember seeing this last night going, oh my God. Okay.
And I mind you, I told you before when we were messaging each other, I said I didn't even know the card going into tonight. I was going in blind.
Dude.
I saw this announced on the when they said it, I said, oh, I'm locked in.
My big question coming into this, I was one of many people who asked this question, is if the Eagles Nest in the ECW Arena is still standing. If it was gated off, but they didn't need it. They had plenty to work with. When I saw Claudio was on that underpass, I'm like, oh, we're starting the match on the outside. Here comes Darby Allin flying off of a fucking shipping container.
Yeah. I said, Jesus Christ. I said, it came out of nowhere. And then, oh, God, this
shopping cart spot was right out of a CKY tape.
He said, move. There's nobody over there, sir.
Nobody was there.
Yeah, nobody said that. And then the TV, that TV wasn't plugged in, but we ain't gonna say it. But Darby, why? Stop it. Like,
this man has taped up on what I'm assuming was a legitimately ruptured eardrum and gets one of the most vile ass kickings Darby Allin's ever gotten. And this is Darby Allin we're talking about. Like, his thing is that he gets destroyed.
And just fucking the toss, which,
yeah, the Spike Dudley spot, which
I thought,
yeah,
my buddy, I did it. Josh, was like, yo, I thought he was gonna throw him into the crowd. I said, damn, that wasn't even a thought. My thought process was he's just gonna throw him into that announce table.
And he sure did.
I didn't even think about the crowd. I was like, when I
I don't
first,
know. I don't know if like are just nationals not allowed to do that? Do you think?
yeah, maybe, might be just like an indie thing.
Because I mean, we just saw it in DPW a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it might just be like an
Our
indie.
guy Dash Morgan.
Shout out Dash Morgan. But he I think it might just be an indie thing for like probably like liability insurance purposes. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
yeah, yeah. Because but it was a good spin on it,
it
and
was.
also the fall
He
just looked
bounced off.
it
Oh my
looked
god!
gross. Everything in this match looked gross, and the fact that they're like, okay, we have these lighting rigs. Darby's like, well, bet
So I
I'm
can
gonna climb off
it.
of it. I was just cackling, howling, laughing the entire time this was going on. There's just a certain part of my brain that this type of match accesses, and it's this weird thing of like you're watching a human car crash, but it's also a joyride in a fucked up way.
Because you know the guy Darby's loving every second of this.
But they still got to the finish in a logical way because he was able to get the sleeper on. So Claudio puts himself in a bad enough spot to where it blows up in his face by kind of having him piggyback. So Darby puts the sleeper on and is able to gain some ground. And then when Claudio does the running uppercut into the corner, it's because I'm thinking to myself, how does he possibly win this? Because he has to. If Darby loses, he's not getting this Moxley match. I think if you did have an argument against the match, that would be it. Maybe it's a little illogical that he didn't just fucking die because there's like, I mean, you have your pick of the litter as far as just death-defying bumps, but really fucked up match in the best possible way.
The Beal into the table that didn't break.
That too. When you see somebody bounce off of a table, like,
And they said, well, we're doing it live. And they powerbombed him through.
good improvisation too, to just not like redo the spot. Just like, no, fuck it, you're going through it. Oh my goodness, man. And again, like,
so
I didn't
awesome.
I didn't take notes on this because I was just enjoying it. But go out of your way to watch this on Max if you're a Max subscriber because, dude, I can't think of an AEW TV match I enjoyed more than this one all year.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. But this match ruled ass. Like,
Yeah.
the post-match stuff could have been... I mean, I get it. I understand why. I think Gabe Kidd's just staying. That's like...
Yeah, I could see it. Before we get to that, though, Darby Allin hits 2 coffin drops after everything and gets away with the win. Booking-wise, he had to win. He's going to go through everybody, probably Gabe Kidd next week. I think that's why he's here. He's going to beat everybody, and then Moxley has nowhere left to hide, and we're going to get that match at the pay-per-view, which, again, I there's not a match I'm more excited for the rest of the year than this one.
This could be an event. Per se.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. But after the match, Gabe Kidd does run in, which still, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Shingo beats him in like 2 minutes at this point. Because he's just not involved with New Japan, but he's one of their champions. He's not even carrying the belt in anywhere. There's something going on there that we don't know all the details of, but Gabe Kidd is here. I'm sure we're going to get Darby Gabe Kidd in the ECW Arena before the pay-per-view. But
He suplexed. Oh god damn.
like the match is done and he still is just
He said, yeah, just throw me, bro. It's fine.
just getting fucking killed, man.
And on paper, Gabe Kidd versus Darby. Yes.
Yeah, you could do some cool shit. This was just the type of match where your adrenaline is so through the roof and you just can't help but love how fucked up pro wrestling can be in a good way. Because human beings, it takes a special type of human to go through that. I know Darby's not necessarily the best kind, but he's a damn good pro wrestler, and I really enjoyed the match, and I can discern the two. So, yeah, AEW's best TV match, I think, of 2025 thus far. So, highest recommendation from me. I don't know about you.
Same.
Nothing announced for next week other than the Hangman, Kenny, and Jet Speed against the Young Bucks and is it Alexander and Takeshita or Alexander Hachicero? It's a combination of the two. Maybe that might build to an Alexander Hangman defense. I mean, they are going to be in Toronto. I don't believe he's from. I believe he's from Western Canada, but maybe they give him the spot in his home country. That remains to be seen. Otherwise, that's Dynamite. This was a blast of a Dynamite. Went by quick. To me, there wasn't a match that I thought was outright bad. If anything, I enjoyed all the matches, so that's a good thing.
Smooth watch, for sure.
Yeah, good episode. A really good follow-up to Forbidden Door, for sure. So far, there are 4 matches announced for Ring of Honor this Friday. I'm sure the whole card will be finalized tomorrow after the TV airs.
And the first match on here is the one I'm excited for.
I don't have Cage Match pulled up, so I'm going to read these in reverse order so you tell me.
All right.
Is it Paul Walter Hauser versus QT Marshall?
Goddamn right.
In a fight without honor.
Hey, listen, I am sold on Paul Walter Hauser, okay?
QT's proved to be good in these spots too, with Big Boom. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought, because I'm very, hesitant with, celebrities or, actors or whatever they're getting involved in stuff, involved in wrestling, but he took it serious, and
yeah,
I'm with it. I'm stoked to see this.
Yeah, fight without honor, you can do all kind of bullshit. QT's just really good at just hamming it up
he's a good hand when it comes to having to be the stick guy for
100%, yeah. I agree with that entirely. I think it's going to be in the best possible way I could say it. Pro wrestling bullshit. It should be good. It should be a good time. Yeah. Going up the list, Lee Moriarty defending the pure title against Gelhua, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Gelhua is signed to CMLL. He wrestles a lot in Lucha Memes, and he is a Yaveo through and through. If you like technical lucha, all the crazy mat shit, you're going to love this guy. I think him and Tiger Style, I didn't see their first match. I think they did a Proving Grounds match in Chicago. I haven't seen it yet. But, yeah, these two should be great together. I think this could steal the show. Then for the ROH Women's World Championship, Mina Shirakawa challenging Athena. Don't sleep on this one. Mina's good in the big match, especially. I think the problem with Mina, especially her late run in Stardom, outside of just they knew she was leaving, so they didn't give her anything to do, is that she's often put in position where people don't know what to do with her limb work. And Athena's experienced enough to know what to do with that. So I think if you lay out the match right, you can have something really good here. Obviously, the floor of an Athena match is I can't remember the last Athena match that was bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm yeah, count me in. I'm cool with this one. And then main event, Hechicero challenging Bandito. This can go all kinds of ways as far as the style of match they can have, but that looks fucking awesome on paper. So
I'm saying these 4 matches here are.
Yeah, this might be a little bit of a sleeper hit, quite honestly, depending on how they round out the rest of the card.
I'm gonna say I'll tune in. Or is it Friday? I'll probably tune in Saturday after I get off work.
Yeah, so if you're listening to the show, maybe you haven't been tuning into Ring of Honor, don't sleep on this one. Whether it's live or otherwise. Because as a core of your card here, the spine of your card, you can do a whole lot worse than this. So I'm excited for this one. I think on paper this looks better than Supercard. So I think next week, when we're getting into things, we can share our thoughts on this one. We don't have to do a full on deep dive review, but we can. If we get to it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
Yeah, well, we're over 2 hours, but we had a lot to talk about. But I had a lot of fun this week. Like I said, it's awesome when you have a good pay-per-view and then a really good TV following it. You're going to have a lot a lot of things to say. So
They're 2 for 2 on the good pay-per-view or good pay-per-view, good TV combo because they did it for All In too. So
yeah. Thankfully though, for indoor it was like 4 hours 20 and not 6 hours. But I'm gonna drop it. Don't worry. But yeah, we'll be back next week to talk Dynamite. Any Death Before Dishonor thoughts? And like I said in the intro of the show, we should have a deep dive of DPW Beast Coast again because just life happens and you can't get to everything when it does. Other than that, Chris, you got anything else for us?
No, man, chilling. Going to see System of a Down Sunday. Pretty stoked for that. But no, man, it's gonna be chilling.
Hell yeah. Well, you have a great time at the show. I mean, it should be at Oasis tomorrow night, time of recording, but...
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so getting some tunes in before we circle back and talk some more wrestling. But for Chris and for Steve, you can find us on socials at OuterStevon and at The Loserweight. Thank you so much for joining us, especially if you got this far into the show, and we'll talk to you again next week.
See ya.